welcome to Book World: The Great Escape. I'm author CJ Peterson. Over here is my co-host, author Michael Scott Clifton. And today we have a special guest, author Patty Wiseman, talking about romance books once again, but hers are a little bit different than author Dana Wayne's, and we'll get to that in just a minute. Welcome, Patty.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
Super Hubby says, hey, all. Hey, Super Hubby. Patty. Oh, wait, before we get there, this last weekend was Brazoria Comic-Con, and we had lots of fun down there. We had Super Puppy, who got to pose with Ghostface Stuntman, and she took him out. Super cute. You can see him on social media. She was an evil puppy. She took him out. They're definitely really cute. But we had lots of fun out down there. We saw Whit McClendon, author Whit McClendon was there. I got a couple of his books. We saw a couple other friends who have been there at multiple Comic-Cons, so that was super fun. But let's get to the fun today. We have author Patty Wiseman, and Patty writes multiple different types of books, but right now we're going to be talking about her romance books. So again, welcome, Patty. How are you doing today?
Patty?
I'm doing great. It's so good to see you both. CJ, we miss you down here in Texas.
Right now it's cold, so I miss the Texas weather for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually heading into tornadoes in the next few days, so I'm really missing Texas weather.
Yeah. So we have tornadoes too down here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Now we had Dana Wayne on a couple weeks ago, but yours are definitely different than Dana's. What makes yours different from other romance books, specifically in your genre, romance?
Well, I think basically my romance books really have a lot of mystery in them, and they're clean romance. They're not Christian per se, but I have a lot of readers that are Christian that read them that appreciate that fact, that they're clean and there's not going to be any uh-oh moments or anything that'll make it cringeworthy. So that's the basic difference.
Yeah.
Cringeworthy. But you also write children's books as well, correct, Patty?
I do. I never thought I would be a children's book author, but we had a special dog, a cream lab named Cutter, that my husband told me I needed to write a story about him because he had some wonderful adventures. And that has stretched into 3 books. And I'm actually working on a 4th one, although it's not about him. It's about my new kitty cat, Molly, and my great-granddaughter. And so, yeah, I'll have 4 children's books. Who knew?
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
Now, your romance books, you have quite a few out there, actually. I was gathering all your different covers. How many do you actually have out there?
Last count, I think it was 14.
Wow.
Like that, you have out there, and some of the covers are kind of near and dear to you because some of them, I think one of them is your niece, isn't it?
No, 2 of them are my granddaughter.
Granddaughters,
yes, and the same girl on both covers, but very different books, and that's a very special legacy for me to have her on the covers. She was sweet enough to come and pose for the photographers and create the book cover, and it's just something very, very special to me.
Okay, can you tell us about your romance?
She was a model for your book covers.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
It's the actual photograph of her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell us about your books? Because you do have a lot, but they're kind of broken up in a couple different types of series, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I have a 5-book series. I call it the Velvet Shoe Collection because it's set in the 1920s. And it's actually based on stories that my grandmother told me about the Roaring '20s and her days as a flapper girl and the trouble she got into and the romance and the mystery. And of course, she's been gone many years now, but I remember the stories she used to tell. She was a great storyteller. And so I ended up with 5 books in the series.
Hmm.
And then I have both contemporary romantic mystery, and I have historical romantic mystery. I have a paranormal, a ghost story, and I have a fantasy. And of
Wow.
course, and I have one of my contemporary books called Silver's Redemption is
Mhm.
actually fashioned for an older woman in her 50s or on up, because most romance books are about younger women, 20s, 30s, 40s.
Right.
Somebody told me one day that I should write a book for an older woman, and so this is a romantic mystery. And I think I aged her at 56 years old. So it
Hmm.
kind of covers the gamut, of I have the younger women, I have the older women, and historical and contemporary. I'm just all over the place.
That's okay. Older women need romance too. I mean,
All right.
come on.
Well, what's the name of your series, Patty? The one that you
The
have 5.
The
The
Velvet Shoe
Velvet Shoe.
collection.
Okay, the Velvet Shoe collection.
They're in alphabetical order. An unlikely arrangement, an unlikely beginning, an unlikely
Mhm.
conclusion, an unlikely deception, and an unlikely elegance.
Wow.
Nice. Now I have your one paranormal one.
Somewhere between.
Yeah, she's got like a yellow skirt on.
Yeah.
That one I read, it's fantastic.
Oh, I'm actually working on another one with that same character, and it will also be uh, a mystery, paranormal mystery. Well, not probably some paranormal, but mostly the mystery. But it's with her. Phoebe is her name, with the same character.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of ghostly charm, let's put it that way, in that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where do you get your ideas? Like, especially for, I mean, you told us where you got the velvet shoe one, but where do you get your ideas for that type of one? Because like I said, there's a little bit of ghostly charm in that one. Let's put it that way.
That actually, after I wrote the 5th book in my series, I thought I really want to do something else. I want to do something entirely different. And I remember a situation when I was a teenager. We lived way out in the country, and it was really late at night, and I looked out of my bedroom window and I saw this ghostly image floating across our front lawn. And looking back now, it was probably fog, but it looked so much like a ghost to me. And that memory fostered that book, that I want to write something about a ghost. And I wanted to set it in Texas, and I wanted it to be historical. And it just unfolded that way.
Did it scare you when you
Usually,
saw that image? Did it scare you? Did the ghost scare you?
it made me curious, but I don't remember being scared.
Okay.
And somewhere between is my ghost story. And I always tell people it's not a Stephen King kind of ghost.
Right.
No,
it's
it's a nice
it's a,
ghost.
it's a nice ghost. And so that's how I
Nice ghost.
yeah. So
Um,
so that covers Somewhere Between and Silver's Redemption. And there's That One Moment, which is a contemporary romantic mystery set in Dallas and the Rocky Mountains.
hmm.
And that one was inspired by my hiking days with my dad. As kids, we always hiked up in the mountains. And I wanted to write something about those experiences. And so I set the story in the Rocky Mountains, but she's from Dallas.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Now you said that you have children's books that was it a dog that inspired you to write the children's books?
Yeah. Yeah, he was a cream lab. His name was Cutter, and he was just a very special dog. And if my husband, Ron, hadn't pushed me to write that story, the first one, I probably wouldn't have ever attempted it because to me, it's harder to write a children's book than it is to write a novel. And people
Hmm.
find that funny, but it's true for me. But that story was very inspired and ended up with another situation. Ozzy Needs a Friend is the second book, the second children's book, and it's still about Cutter, but it's about an otter that came into our pond one day and the friendship that they had.
Hmm.
Very cool. Now you have a new release coming out soon, or you had a new
No,
release?
it just came out a few months ago. Yeah,
And what
it's
is
my new one. It's called Once Again Forever. And it actually takes the secondary characters of that one moment and I put them as main characters in the new story, Once Again Forever. So,
Wow.
okay, cool. When did that
and
come out?
I think it came out in September, somewhere in there, September, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
we
cool.
we run into each other quite a bit at book events. Uh, so, what are some book events that if someone wanted to come get a personal autograph on a book from you, where will you be at over the next 3 or 4 months in and around the Texas area?
Well, coming up the 14th, will be in Jefferson at the Jefferson Art Walk. And we're excited to be doing that. This will be the first time we've been there. So if you know where Jefferson is in Texas, you can come by. We'll be in the Excelsior Hotel there, which
Oh,
I'm real
oh,
excited about that. I love
oh,
that place.
that's a great.
And we do the Longview event, the
Art walk.
Longview Art Walk. And we're changing venues this time. We're not going to be at the Vera Bank. We'll be at the art museum behind the Vera Bank. We've decided to make a little tweak there. And I've been in the Vera Bank for 9 years, and I think it was time to make a change. We go to a lot of festivals around the area. There's Avenger, and there's Texarkana, and we go to Blanchard, Louisiana. The reason we do so many festivals is because of my husband's artwork. We share a booth and we go together, and it's something as a retired couple we can do together, you know?
That's cool.
Right. Yeah.
Now, do you have any works in progress you want to talk about?
I do. Like I said, not a sequel to the Somewhere Between Ghost story, but it's a companion book. It's the adventures of Phoebe Whiteside, and she is a amateur sleuth, so to speak, not by choice, but because she fell into it. And so this second book is called Secrets Within,
Ooh,
and she finds herself um, trying to solve another mystery for a neighbor. She's become quite popular solving these mysteries, and so this is a new one. I'm ways to go with it. I'm only, I think, into the 7th chapter right now, but it's coming along nicely.
I like a good
And then,
mystery.
huh?
I said I like a good mystery.
Yeah, and it's a novella, which I know both of you remember Caleb Pirtle.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he always told me to write a novella because they sell so well, because they're quick reads, And so this will be my second novella.
Wow.
And then I have a new children's book, uh, London and Molly's Texas Adventures. And it's going to be an illustrated book about my cat and my great granddaughter and they're Texas adventures around seeing special attractions around Texas together.
So, do you have any target dates at all on either one?
No, because I'm hoping, well, now the children's book, I hope to get out by May because
Okay.
I promised my granddaughter I'd have it for her birthday. So I better stop working on the other one and get this children's book out. And so I'm saying summertime for the other book, Secrets Within.
That's cool.
So,
Yeah.
so people that are watching, of course, the novellas are shorter, but can you give a little bit more concise description of what a novella actually is?
Well, it's 40,000 words or less. And basically, you can use any topic or any genre. Just keep under the 40,000 words is basically what a novella is compared to a novel, which is 65 or 65,000 or more.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, Patty, people don't know that you actually are working with a slight challenge when it comes to your writing. Would you care to
Yes,
share
ma'am.
about these guys with those who are watching and
Sure.
listening?
Well, a few years ago, I was diagnosed with macular degeneration, and that's why I wear these computer glasses because my central vision in my left eye is almost totally gone, and my right eye, they're fighting to save it. But it makes it very difficult to see the screen anymore, and I can't write on, I can't read regular books anymore. I have to read ebooks or listen to Audible. But with these glasses that they've given me, I have a big screen and I can read on that and do my work. And of course, you use all the tools. You have the read aloud function, and you have dictate. That you can do that. And so it hasn't slowed me down at all as far as writing goes. Now, some other things it does, but I learned to work around that. And it's a really wonderful how the brain adapts to something like that. Do I get frustrated? Sure. But, what am I going to do?
Well, and that was gonna be my next question. When it comes to that, like there are days where my eyes are really bad and I have trifocals where I have to use them. So it does get frustrating. Being an author, losing your vision is probably one of the most frustrating things in the world. So with that thought in mind, I know when you started to lose it, there were points where you weren't able to write. So with that challenge in mind, how does that work for you?
My stubbornness, probably. I'm not going to give up. And I have some wonderful doctors that work with me and show me different ways to do things. And my husband, of course, is my number one supporter. And without him, now I couldn't do the events because he takes all the money, the credit cards and the cash and that. I have a hard time seeing that anymore. So I have a great support system. My publisher is here right next to me so that I don't mess up something on the screen. And as long as you have that support system, and I'm a stubborn person, I still bowl. I bowl on a women's league I've bowled on for 40 years. And my teammates, they tell me what pins I have left after, I know where to stand. I know what mark to roll over, but I can't see what pins are left up there. And so they tell me you have the 10 pin or the 7 pin or whatever. And I know where to stand in order to shoot that pin. And so I just refuse to give up. I'm not going to give up. And, you have to find the right doctors and you have to have a good support system. And I'm fortunate to have both.
Very
How
cool.
long have you been dealing with that, Patty? How long have you had to deal with your macular
Uh,
degeneration?
Well, I first was diagnosed probably about 4 years ago. It's a progressive disease. It's in my family. My sister is struggling with it. My brother is struggling with it.
Hmm.
My mother had it. My grandmother had it. So my doctor tells me it's in your genes. There's nothing we can do about it, but slow down the progression. And that's what they treat me for, is to slow it down. I will not lose all my vision. I still have my peripheral. It's the center vision that is what I'm losing. But it's when and I'm so lucky because I don't have other infirmities, that would keep me
Sure.
from doing
Yeah.
stuff. I'm still
Yeah.
relatively healthy and active and all of that. And as long as I have the support system and good doctors, I I feel like I'm winning the game,
And you have
So,
lots more stories to tell.
Yeah,
and how,
I
yeah,
do.
how many books?
Yeah.
How many books have you written since you've had this issue? I mean, because
Oh my goodness.
that's a pretty good.
Well,
I mean,
I think 4 or 5 at
wow.
least.
See, hadn't slowed
Yeah.
you down. Hadn't slowed
No,
you down.
it's not slowing me down, and it's not going to. Yeah.
So question is, what inspired you to actually start writing in the first place?
My grandmother. When I was 4 years old, we were staying at her house, and she was a quite a salty lady. She sent all the kids upstairs to go to bed, and she then regaled my family with her escapades when she was a young woman. Well, curiosity for me has always been a problem. So I snuck downstairs and hid behind the staircase, and I listened to all her salty stories. And I
Wow.
decided that I wanted to be a storyteller like she was. And so when I first began to write, those are the stories that I wrote about. So she really kind of inspired me to do that.
Cool. Well,
Well,
one question we always ask authors is, are you a planner or a pantser?
I think I know this.
I'm a planner.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I have a plot, scene, and structure thing that
Yeah.
I go by. But I used to have the book open, in the beginning to see what goes in the next chapter. But I don't have to do that anymore. It's in there, and I know what needs to come next. So,
Yeah.
and I always know my ending. I always know that before I even start writing. I know what the end is going to be.
Very
With a
cool.
capital P planner, I probably, that's as long as I've known you, you've been really organized like that. I got to ask you this question,
Yeah.
Patty. Has a 40-year bowling for 40 years. What is your all-time high score?
215.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's real good.
Yeah. I don't
So
do that anymore, but
That's still pretty good.
yeah, that's my highest score. Right now I'm holding a 135 average. I used to
Okay.
be a 150
Wow.
bowler, but with my eyesight, it's dropped to 135, but I've held that all year. We start in the fall. We don't end until May, and I've held that 135. So there's people on my team that have lower average than that, and they can see.
Yeah.
that's okay. That's pretty good. So what advice would you give somebody who wants to get into writing romance?
Well, for me, it was finding a writer's group. And because I finished a whole novel before I even thought about, now what do I do? How do I get it published? I think it's very important to align yourself with like-minded people and to get advice from those people and find out what the steps are. There's editing problems, there's publishing problems, there's plot problems, there's all kinds of things when you get into writing. You don't just sit down there and put it out there. Even pantsers have to have help getting in and out of situations in their books, and a writer's group is a great way to find that help. And all you have to do is Google it, because that's what I did, in your area.
So I think you know where I'm going with this. What do you think the worst thing you could do to a young writer as an experienced writer yourself? What's the worst possible thing you can say or do to discourage them?
Well, let me tell you, I had a friend one time that we had a critique group meet at her house, and she had sent her pages, ahead of time, and everybody just ripped her to shreds. And one of the people said, "You need to throw this in the trash and start over."
Oh no.
Yes. And that just killed my heart. And I'll tell you, I took her book and I said, "Let's sit down and let's fix this." And we fixed it, and she published it, and she's got several other books after that. But I think pulling the rug out from under a new writer is the worst thing you can do, to be so critical that you just stab them in the heart. I don't go for that. I hate that. There are ways to be critical, to critique somebody's work with kindness and empathy, and to do it the right way to encourage them to go forward.
Yeah, there's constructive and destructive criticism. There's
Yes.
a huge difference between the two.
Yes.
Definitely a difference. We have a few minutes left. Is there anything you would like to add?
Well, I'm just tickled to death to be here and see your two faces. And I hope that anything I might have said to encourage a new writer, or one that's stuck in the middle of something and can't get their way out, will look for help either on Book World, or either you, CJ, or me. I'm always happy to help. I mentor new writers a lot, and I love doing it. And to me, there's no competition, because you don't write what I write, and I don't write what you write. So it's apples and oranges.
Exactly. There's no competition, and we're all on this together. My theory is, as long as you're reading, I'm good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm all for just helping people out. So thank you so much for coming to join us, Patty. Always a pleasure to see you. Like I said, I haven't seen you face to face in a long time. When I do, I'm going to give you a really big hug, because I haven't seen you forever. But if you want to learn more about Patty Wiseman, you can go over to her website, www.pattywiseman.com. That's www.pattywiseman.com. She's also on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You can go ahead and find her. Her handle is at Patty and the letters W and G. So you can go ahead and find her online there. Next week, we're going to be talking book trailers, and it will be pre-recorded. We will not be ignoring you. It will be a pre-recorded one on book trailers. Make sure to check that one out. Same time, same sandbox. Do not miss it. For those who have not done book trailers or who want to learn more about book trailers, make sure to check us out next week, same time. And again, it will be pre-recorded. We are not ignoring you. See you guys next week. Bye.